Hey guys, it's Hazel at CheatSheetPros.com. Today is Wednesday, May 28th. I think that's right. And we're going to take a look at some baseball. I did just post a video on my same game parlay for tonight, so feel free to take a look at it. We also hit a pretty good one last night, too. Let me see if I can drag this over here for you. I posted it in our chat. It was last minute. I didn't have time to research, but it was an 8-picker. It basically had Diamondbacks, Yankees to be up by 1 at the end of the 5th, and then a bunch of shit from the game, but it was plus 639, and it actually won fairly easily, so that was kind of a nice little boost to our bankroll. But again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take a look at some plays here. I did redo the sheet, so tomorrow you're going to see something a little bit different. Here, I might be able to even show it to you. Let me see if I can do this. If we need to, we can come back to this and take a look at it. But I was just working on a little update for you, so let's see what it looks like. Let me hit update. So this is going to pull up the lines. You can see down here in the bottom of the corner, it's going out, pulling up any starting lineups. The main change is going to be to this main tab and then the betting board. So real quick, I'll show you those on the betting board. I added this column, and it's what the pitcher is allowing for their split. So the road pitcher, that's the batting average allowed on the road. Home pitcher, that's the batting average allowed at home. And then we also added in the number of games they've scored 4+ runs over the last 7. If it's 2 or less, it's blue. If it's 5 or more, it's green to show that it's warm. And I also added a little highlighter here. If they've won 8, 9, or 10 games in the last 10, it turns green. And if it's 2 or less, it turns blue, so you can get an idea of who's hot and cold. And I think that is the majority of everything there. And then over here on the main tab, I fixed some basic color coding issues, and the big change is down here on the pitchers. So what I did is I added in the last 5 averages, because these are a lot of props that people are doing. I made sure these were pulling correctly, the strikeout and the earned run prop and their hit rate over recent games, so you can get an idea. So that's going to kind of help us look at everything. Some of the games have already started for today, so let's see where we can go ahead and start at. So it's 12:30. So over here, let's look at 2:40 and later. Paul Skeens is on the mound. As always, he's ridiculous. So anything as far as pitching outs, if you can get 18 plus, that's nearly a lock. DK took away my alt pitching outs because we use that on our ladder plays and hit 5 ladders in a row. And they're like, okay, fuck you, Hayes. No more. We're going to give you the shit line. So looking down here, we got the Miami. So this is the first game I want to focus on, this 3:10 game with Miami and San Diego. So real quick on this, when you're looking at it, neither team has been really good. 4-6 over the last 10. Just average on 4+ runs per game. But then we come over here and we're looking at average allowed. So what jumps out at me is Sandy Alcantara. He has an earned run prop of 2.5, which should be obliterated. Look at his last 5 starts: 5, 4, 4, 5, 7 earned runs, 6 hits, and he's allowing a 348 average on the road. And then you have Kyle Hart, who I don't pay attention to this guy. He's a nobody to me, but he's allowing a 162 average at home, and he's a little all over the place. He had a 10-hit game and then a 1-hit and a 2-hit game. So, but I mean, we got to like the Padres there. And looking at this, the line's probably 150, 160, so that'd be a good one to mix and match with someone. But when we come over here and we look at it, the Padres have won, let's see, 4 or 5. So we could take a look at that. Miami, you know, they're their typical 2-5 over the last 7. Power ranking 26 versus 12. So if you pick 2 plays, you know, might throw the Padres on here. But what I'm focusing on is the player prop. So looking at Sandy Alcantara, so look at his stats right here. So far he's allowing it a 260 average. On the road, a 348 average. Now, he's only got 15.2 road innings, so take that with a grain of salt. But look at his recent starts. His earned runs allowed, I mean, he doesn't have one under 2.5. 5, 4, 4, 5, 7, 3, 6. So I think we can do over 2.5 earned runs and feel pretty good about that. Now, you see me do hits allowed prop, and he's averaging 6. So 5, 5, 7, 6, 7. That's not as good as what I wanted. So I'm leaning earned runs, and it's basically because of the walk. So he's been struggling with his control. He has 2, 2, 3 walks over his last 3 starts, and then he had a 1 and then a 5. So he's putting runners on base and then giving up a hit, and it's basically giving him up a couple of runs. So I like the over 2.5 earned runs for Alcantara or the Padres. I think that's a good play. Flipping down here, Baltimore, St. Louis, both of these teams about the same, 6-4, 4-6. They're close in our power rankings. Something else you'll know here is the number of above average and below average hitters, and it will give you a lineup grade, whether it's hot, cold, or average. We put that in there. Looking at the pitchers, Povich is someone we had picked on, but in 3 of the last 4 starts, he really hasn't given up a ton. He had 1 bad start on the road at Minnesota. Mikolas, I don't know what happened to this guy. He was getting thrashed last year, but 1-0-1-3-0-0 earned runs. So nothing I really like in this game. If anything, I would lean to St. Louis. I can't believe they're a dog. Just looking at the bullpens here, 3.43 to 6.35. St. Louis has the better bullpen. Mikolas has been outstanding. Both of these pitchers, really, the hits per innings pitched is what we focus on, 0.61, 0.65. They're both good pitchers, but St. Louis has a better bullpen, and they're a little higher in our power rankings, and they're a dog. So I'm probably going St. Louis here. As far as lineups, they're both average. They both have about 5 hitters that are hitting above a league average batting average. So yeah, let's go ahead and go St. Louis there as a dog. I don't think I'll write that one up if I post some plays today. Zach Wheeler and Smith Shawver. We got to go Philadelphia here. If you wanted to do Padres and Philly, that would be something that would get you plus money. What jumps out at me? Braves bullpen 0-4 over the last 2 weeks. xFIP near 5. They rank 26th for us. Philly's got a good bullpen. ERA's a little high. xFIP says it should be a little bit lower. And then their home runs per 9's really low, so they rank 10th for us. And they have an ace on the mound. They've won 9 of 10 games. They're at home, so we can't really complain with that. Their WRC Plus is solid, home or road. And then Atlanta, you can see here, they've only won 2 games in the last 8, so they're 2-6. And they're going up against Zach Wheeler. So Zach Wheeler, let's check his stats, make sure he's been stellar. And he has. So he's got 7.2, 6, 7, 7, 7.2 innings. His last 3 starts, he has not allowed an earned run. That's phenomenal. And only 3 hits in those starts. So that is phenomenal. So even if you wanted to do a first 5 with Philadelphia, if you got a better line or first 5 run line, that should be outstanding. So over the last 5 games, you can say Zach Wheeler's averaging 7.6 strikeouts per game, only 3.6 hits, and less than an earned run. So that's phenomenal for Wheeler on the mound. Over here to Smith Shawver. He's coming off this start. I was shocked. I can't remember what play we had, but we posted something on him. He's on my fantasy teams. And look, he had all these good starts in a row. 0-1, 0-2, 2 earned runs allowed. I'm like, all right, he's doing pretty decent. And then Washington went out and absolutely crushed him. 3 innings, he gave up 8 hits, 7 earned runs. He walked 3 batters. So you could say he's an average pitcher, maybe a little below average. But what does jump out is here on the road, he has 23 road innings, so about half of his innings. But his whip jumps from 102 to 174. And then his batting average allowed goes from 156 at home to 305 on the road. So a Philly first 5 is probably something that really jumps out at me with his split. And then Wheeler, he's just absolutely outstanding. That game kicks off at 5:45, so that's one that we do like. Let's take a look at this Mets game. Oh, Jesus. I don't even know what to say here. The White Sox have to be an automatic play against, like every time, no matter who's on the mound. Both pitchers decent. The White Sox don't have a bullpen, don't have a good lineup. I'm not a huge Griffin Canning fan, and the line on this one's too big for me, so I'm not going to mess with it. KC and Cincinnati. So this is a game that is really flipping interesting. So I live in Kansas City, so I'm a Royals fan, Chiefs fan, and they have not been doing good, but who in the fuck is Noah Cameron? Like, look at this guy. His ERA is .93 with a .67 whip. His hits per innings pitched is .34. Oh my God, that is ridiculous. So I'm not saying Kansas City is going to win this game by any means, but like if you're playing DFS, like his salary has to be so low. He's got 19 innings. He's allowing a 108 average and a .67 whip. My God, that is outstanding. So in his 3 starts, he's gone 6 innings in each. He's only allowed 4 hits, 2 hits, 1 hit, and then 1 run, no runs. And he has an earned run prop of 2.5. That's, yeah. I'm going to look at something with Noah Cameron, my word. He only has 3, and then 8 strikeouts in this last one. What's the strikeout rate for Cincy? And Noah Cameron's a lefty, so let's see how Cincy does versus lefty. Okay, so they've got a 24.8% strikeout rate versus left-handed pitching. So Noah Cameron K's could be pretty good. I think it's 4.5, and you could probably get 4+. But yeah, if you're playing DFS, this guy has to be outstanding. And I wonder what his pitching outs are. Let me see if I still got... I don't have it pulled up anymore. But I'm also going to look at his pitching outs as well, because that guy is freaking outstanding. Now, Hunter Green, he's a solid pitcher too, so I don't expect him to outduel him by any means. But again, he's just a great DFS play if you're looking for a player prop. Tanner Gordon, this guy, Jesus. As always, auto play against the Rockies, however you want to attack it. What worries me, though, is these last 2 games, the Cubs only won by 1 run and won by 2 runs, so just be careful, take it with a grain of salt. But Cubs have a solid bullpen, ranks 4th for us, 5-1 over the last 2 weeks. The Rockies suck ass. They have a bullpen with an ERA over 5 and whip of near 1.6, and they are averaging a whopping 2.4 runs per game. Tanner Gordon has been getting absolutely crushed. He's allowing almost 6 hits per game. Look at this, 8, 4, 6, 5, 6, 10, 6. So if I'm doing a ladder play today, Tanner Gordon 4+ hits is definitely going to be in there. Earned runs, not nearly as bad, 4, 3, 2, 2, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, that's Boyd. Okay, Tanner Gordon, my bad, let's reset that. So he's allowed 5 hits, 9 hits. So average is 7 hits. Again, it's only 2 starts. Allowed a total of 6 earned runs in 12 innings. He did face the Yankees and Detroit, so Tanner Gordon's probably going to get hit, 4+ hits. But also, Boyd, he's been giving up a crap ton of hits. He's a good pitcher, so I don't know what's going on with him this year. I mean, his last start was only 4 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs against Cincinnati, who's not very good. So kind of eye-popping, and you could even do Boyd plus Tanner Gordon hits allowed. If you want to attack that on DK, those are always fun. That's probably one I would put in if I was doing a ladder play today. Paxton Schultz, I didn't pull him in this morning, see if he has any stats. Both of these teams stink. 27th and 30th in our power rankings. I don't have any stats on one pitcher. The other pitcher's been pretty decent. So if I was going to do anything, I'm going to back Texas and the probable pitcher that is much better. But again, nothing there. The reason I wanted to show you this game is we have our first hot lineup that shows up down here that you'll see starting tomorrow. So LAA, I mean, their lineup's been outstanding. Look at this last 2-week batting average, 288, 326, 320, 293, 286, 275. I mean, they've got some killers in this lineup. Now, they're going up against Kikuchi. Don't have a lot of BVP. Let me see how they do versus left-handed pitching. So they're decent. So Kikuchi's actually been really good. So not one we would jump out, but I did just want to show you the hot lineup here. Kikuchi's allowed 2 earned runs or less in 5 straight starts. He has been giving up some hits, and his walk rate is a little alarming. He has 8 walks in the last 2 starts, so 8 walks in his last 13.1 innings, along with 10 hits, but only 1 run, so he's been lucky. So LAA might be sneaky here. Yankees haven't really been killing people. They won 3-2, 5-1, 5-4, and then they blew Colorado out 1 game, but their lineup hasn't been that great. Their number 2 hitter batting 128, their number 4 hitter 206, 172, a 226, and a 115. So I wouldn't feel real confident if you're backing them today. Washington and Seattle, this game, I really don't want anything to do with it, but when you're taking a look at this, George Kirby, in his first start, 4.2 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, not very good. Trevor Williams, he's 4 to 6 hits a game. He's averaging 6. And then earned runs, he's averaging over 4. Oh my gosh, look at this. 5-3, 4-4, 5 earned runs. So if Seattle can't get something going against him, we've got other problems. But again, those are a couple plays that I'm going to take a look at. Philadelphia, first 5. We like St. Louis as a dog. I don't mind the Padres if you want to mix it in. just because Alcantara's been bad. As far as player props, Alcantara over 2.5 runs. I still can't believe St. Louis is a dog. Let's look at that one again. That might be one that we add in there. Maybe we do St. Louis as a dog, and then we take Philly first 5. I think that might be the way to go. All right, so Philly, we looked at that. And then St. Louis, who were they playing? Baltimore? Okay, so Baltimore. I hate Baltimore. I don't know why. No offense to anyone who lives in Baltimore. Yeah, so they've been putting up some runs. They haven't been terrible. But, my word, Povich, let's see what he's done. 4.36, 4 hits, 2.5 earned runs allowed. But, man, look at Mikolas. He has been just outstanding. 3.4 hits over his last 5 and only 1 earned run. So look at this. In his last 6 starts, he's allowed 1, 0, 1, 3, 0, 0. So in his last 6 starts, 3 of them he didn't give up a run. 2 of them he gave up 1 run. And 1 time he gave up 3 runs. And he has an earned run prop of 2.5 going up against a team that isn't really scoring a ton of runs. They're either 4, 5, 5, 2. So they're kind of in there. Bullpen-wise, St. Louis has a good bullpen. I don't know why St. Louis is a dog here. I might go after that. I like St. Louis as a dog here. So let's put that down. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going to go with. Again, I'll keep this video short, sweet, to the point, and I'm off this week, so hopefully get some more plays out.